L26. Will the damned on occasions think of God? Do the damned on occasions think of God? You could tell yourself that in order to just be happy, they attempt never to think about Him. The problem is that we must now take some background knowledge of what the heart of man is. Saint Augustine describes this quite well. He said, I was filled with all the goodness. I was the son of a patrician. I had riches. I had women. I had everything, and my heart remained restless. And then one day I discovered God. So He filled my heart, and all by Himself, because I loved Him before I even knew Him. In fact, I found peace. And he concludes by saying, to have all goods except God is to be poor in all goods. To have God and to have nothing else is to be rich in all possessions. In hell, people are filled with all sorts of goods. If they so want them, God gives them what He can. He created billions of galaxies, and the other world is by far much bigger. He can give each of them a galaxy with all the gold and diamonds within it. At the end of the world, He gives them back an immortal, magnificent body that obeys their spirits. He only deprives them of two things, which is a consequence of their choice. They do not see Him face to face, and on the other hand, they have no friends because of their own selfishness. As a result, all the goods they own are like the wind. It does not bring them any joy. On the contrary, it infuriates them. As for the only thing they lack, a meaning in this life filled with all good things or objects. This meaning of life and eternity, they understand that it can only be given to them by the vision of God. The problem is that they understood that in order to see God, you must love Him, and that to love Him, you also have to accept the conditions to become quite humble, and these conditions they refuse regardless. Confronted incessantly in hell with this life, which goes round in circles upon themselves, the consideration of their own absurdity in an existence that never stops. They constantly think of God. One could say, and it will be quite simple, that it would be enough for them to finally understand, and for them to be converted, and for them to renounce pride. They never do so, never, because their freedom is absolute. As a result, we can say of the damned that what burns them, what makes them angry, is that they only think of one thing, of God, but not as they ought to or should. They think of Him in order to possess Him, in order to obtain individual happiness. They never think of Him for loving Him, of course.